that's it. Loaded up for the night. It is Tuesday night. Sun's going down. Job Wednesday morning, about a half hour from here, 1 acre mulching job. And so basically the intent of that part of the video was to try to do some voiceover footage and just kind of show you guys how I basically like a day in the life. So starting with the night before, loading up. I actually just got done washing all the equipment. Actually, I can show you guys. This is all the shit, mud and stuff that came out of it from the last mulching job. So getting the engine bay and stuff all washed out and keeping the filters clean, all very important. Keeping your equipment clean, which in forestry mulching is a real pain in the ass, particularly with the Kubota, which I've done other videos on. But so anyway, we're all loaded up, ready to go. I will continue this video in the morning, try to get as much footage as I can tomorrow, just trying to do like a full day in the life of a typical 1 acre forestry mulching job and what we go through. I've done a lot of talking about it, reviewing equipment, talking about my startup, but I've had some comments and some requests for actual action videos. So I'm going to bring my drone, I'm going to bring my DJI Action 4, I'll bring my Sony, my good camera. Well, they're both, this one's a POV camera, my other camera, my Sony, isn't. I'm going to bring both. I need to get some more GoPros, or actually, again, the DJI Action 4. I really like this camera a lot. So I'm going to get a couple more of these probably just to do multi-angle. As you kind of saw here in this video, I kind of had to jump around just grabbing this one camera to get the different shots of chaining down and everything. So, but we'll be back in the morning. We have a 9 a.m. start, and again, it's a full acre, clearing invasives in between a stand of pine trees around this guy's house. So new construction built a year ago. It's a real pretty spot, so I think it's going to look really, really nice when we're done, and we'll show you guys the finished product, and along the way as well. This will probably end up being a longer video, just to kind of show you guys. I'll do the best job of editing that I can to shorten it up while still allowing you guys to kind of see everything that we go through. I'm going to try to film everything. I have time tomorrow, so that includes, the times that I have to get out of the machine to wipe off the screens, to blow it off, if I break any teeth, or if we need to sharpen or anything like that. I'm going to try to just really show you guys what a typical day doing this job is like as a business owner. So that's the plan. Again, it's Tuesday night. What is the date today even? It's April 29th, 2025. So we're going to use the drum because we're going to be next to his house. And man, I would love to use the disc, but we'd get through it a little bit quicker. But we can't do that. I'll just give you guys a quick look here at the disc, though. We've used it only on one job so far, but we have some jobs coming up where I will be using this. And I have a video coming out too, just dedicated to the unboxing of this, the day that I got it, and doing kind of a first thoughts on what I think about the Veiled X mulcher, the disc mulcher. But man, it's a pretty wicked piece of equipment. A lot more aggressive than the drum. I definitely see why you can't, wouldn't want to be using it around houses or buildings or roadways or, vehicles or anywhere where there's people. Although while we're mulching, there really shouldn't be a lot of people or any people within 300 feet of the machine, ideally. So I'm going to shut down the pole barn here for the evening and shower up, get some dinner. It's about 8 o'clock, and be back at it in the morning. My rooster, for some reason, hanging out in my pole barn. Dude, sun's almost down. If I don't put him away, he's gonna stay in here for the night. So I'll catch you guys back on the job site tomorrow morning and see how we do. All right, good morning, guys. It is Wednesday morning, so following up from the video from last night, loading up the trailer, getting everything ready to go. Mulching job today, so we are on the road. It's about a 30-minute drive, so it's not too bad. And we've got 1 full acre to do, and the customer is, I believe, not going to be there for the first part of the day. I think he's not going to be coming in until this afternoon, but he did confirm that he's got everything all flagged off. We have to cut a trail around the perimeter of the property, and then inset from that trail, we're actually doing a complete clear of about 3/4 of an acre, including the trails. It ends up being in total about 1 acre. And again, it's a standing pine. We're just basically clearing all the underbrush, all the understory within those pines. So a little bit of contour. There's some hills here and there, but it's all pretty gradual, sandy soil. So we've got carbides in the middle of the drum. We've got knives sharpened up on the outside. So we're going to see how that performs today. But that's what we got going on. Got a few phone calls to make here. I had some leads call me this morning, some follow-ups to do from last night. So I'm going to make full use of my drive this morning, because once I get in the machine, I'm not going to be able to make those phone calls, unfortunately. So I cut this part short, but I'll be back up with you guys when we get to the job. Alright guys, we just got here on site. Kind of let you guys see, check my screen here, the lay of the land. But this is essentially the area that we're doing. So I want to get in here. I think I see a flag up here. So he says he's got this flagged out pretty good. He did give me a map too, an Onyx map, mapped out for how they want this trail cut in. But I think this is perimeter right here, this flag. There's another flag back in there. So I think the single orange flags are the perimeter of the area that he wants done. Just gonna check my phone here real quick. Yeah. So we are at, well, maybe this is the trail. Blue dotted lines are the trails marked with double flags. So he says the trails are marked with double flags. That's a single flag right there. So I wonder, the trail is probably up this way further, where it starts, according to the map that he sent me anyways. There's the double flags. Okay, way down here. So double flags are way up here. I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but this is going to be the start of the trail right here. Double flag, that makes sense. And that goes all the way back through. So right here is going to be our starting point. And he wants us to cut the trails in first, and then we're going to do the interior, which is going to be a complete clear of that area, not just trails. So kind of getting a look at this, guys. this is what we're dealing with. So it's actually, this is pretty thin, like at least right through here. It's not going to take long at all, in the grand scheme of it anyway, to cut this trail in, I don't think. And this goes around the entire perimeter. The property in total is, I think, 9 or 10 acres. I think it's 10 acres. So house is up here somewhere, and so we're basically just wrapping this trail around the perimeter, heading up to, it would be the west side of the house, and then wrapping around to the north side of the house, and then finishing on the northeast side of the house for the trail. Let me just take a look at my map here one more time, so I give you guys kind of a look. But here is the map. So that red there is the interior area that we are completely mulching, everything around all of the large standing pine trees. And in between, the blue dotted line is where I'm standing now. I am right here. And so we're going to wrap this trail all the way around the property line and back up, and we're going to end on, it looks like, the southeast side of the house. And then he looks like he wants a trail that cuts from the northeast side of the property straight up into the backyard area, right into the middle of the backyard. Actually, this Onyx map doesn't have the house on it yet, but that sandy looking area there is the build site, which is where the house sits now. So that is the plan. So we're going to start here. So that gets you guys kind of started on the trail. I'm gonna keep blazing through, and the next thing you guys will probably see, unless I run into something really cool or fun, will be probably some time-lapse footage. I'll do some actual real-time footage with some audio, so that way you guys can hear the mulcher, hear the wood chips and stuff, and just hear what the machine does. But if I let it play real-time the whole time, it'd be a 5-hour video. So I'll end up doing time-lapse footage, which is enjoyable to watch too. But so that gets you guys started, and give you a quick look at the mulcher. Running carbides in the center, carbide planers, not 2-tips, and then running steel on the outside. That one's more like a carbide at the moment, but that's what we're running. So we just took out that cedar, and we're gonna keep blazing and make some progress here, so that when the homeowner gets home, he doesn't think we did nothing except film YouTube videos all day. So I'll catch you guys in a little bit. All right, guys, I just want to take a second here, jump out of the machine. So we're most of the way through this trail, but it's time to jump out of the machine and check for debris. Wow, actually, we're not doing too bad. So these pockets on my SBL 97 right here, these are debris booths. The machine does not come with these. Normally this would just be an open cavity right down into the engine compartment, but typically this is all filled up with shit. These air intakes here, those are not too bad, but this is not crazy dusty in here, and we've had some rain recently, so it's not picking up a lot of dirt. But at this point, we're gonna have to get off, check that, get rid of some sticks. Yeah, that's not, I mean, normally it's hay, and then that's a little bit better up with what we did right here, what you're normally dealing with. Hopefully you guys can hear me okay with the machine still running, but this is not bad at all. But that's normally what you got to deal with. You got to keep cleaning those off. I like to get some of the stuff off the mulcher here and there. If it piles up too bad, it doesn't hurt it, but it's just keeping this stuff clean makes your operation more efficient. So haven't broken any teeth, no rocks in here so far, knock on wood. But I just also wanted to take a second to point out, so this is kind of the trail that we're carving in. This is the first pass. I will come back through. So this is what the stuff kind of, it's not super thick. It's really not. So we're cruising through it pretty quickly, but I'll come back through and groom this again once I cut it through the first time. I always like to come back through and clean it up a second time. And but man, the customer really did a nice job of flagging this out for us through these pines. So I commend him for that. Most people do, but sometimes you get some people who just don't. And but he really took his time and made note of placing his flags so that the trail takes a path for me to be able to get through in between some of these pines. Like, he took note of the stuff that I can get in between, and took note of the stuff that I can't get in between. And he's a person that's familiar with equipment, so it makes sense that he was able to do that. Not everybody understands, you know, how wide the equipment is, and I always tell them 77 inches to the outside of my tracks, but not everybody's going to get out here with a tape measure if they're not good at eyeballing that sort of thing and measure that. So it makes my job a lot easier, a lot faster, if I don't have to try to reroute myself around the flags that they placed in order to get my machine through the woods. I always like to stay on the path that they set for me, but my ability to do that really relies on their ability to flag it out, or how well they flagged it out for me to be able to to not have to stray from the flagged area very much. And I haven't had to do that yet with this property. And most people don't care. They understand if I have to go around, you know, to get the machine through. They're okay with that. But I don't like to if I don't have to. So anyway, I just wanted to make note of that. This customer did a really nice job. And we're going to get back in the machine, keep on going. Grease intervals for this mulcher and most mulchers are about every 4 hours. And we're probably not even 1 hour in yet. So you watched me grease it last night when I loaded up the equipment, so we're good there. And get this door shut up and get our hydraulics activated again. And that is right there. We are live. Back to it. I'll catch you guys in a little bit. All right, jumping out of the machine again. This is the second time. We just finished cutting the trail in completely and then back dragging. Went back through the trail a second time, back dragged everything, got it looking real nice. But here we are again. And this is still not bad here. But this stuff just gets caked up with debris. And I'm sure this side is too. Yep, that side not so bad, but right there. And one of the problems is, excuse me, is that because this pocket accumulates stuff, which if you don't put this debris boot on here, all this stuff just ends up down in the engine compartment and becomes a fire hazard. So I think that it is better to have this debris boot, but with it there, it accumulates piles of shit. And then the air intakes here, sucking air in to the engine compartment, it just continues to, anything you're kicking up gets sucked into here, and then all of this stuff just pulls off of here and cakes this up. So you're just constantly out cleaning it off. But, and this, honestly, even with how that just looked, this is nothing compared to what it looks like sometimes. So called the customer, and I believe that the perimeter trail that we just cut now branches off with these double orange flags here and then cuts up towards the house. But I'm gonna walk it first just to make sure. It is 20 after 11. We've probably got about an hour and a half in the mulcher now, and he's gonna be here at about noon. And if I feel comfortable that this is, I talked to him on the phone for a second, but if I feel comfortable that this is what we're supposed to do for this trail, I'm going to jump in and get that cut in, hopefully before he gets here. That way, by the time he does get here, I can eat lunch real quick and then start working on the area closer to the house where we're clearing everything in and around all these pines and oaks and cherries, getting that just kind of like that open state park appearance for their backyard. So that'll be the where I'm going to set the camera up and just probably do a time lapse for you guys to just watch the mulcher in action. So that's where we're at. Man, I have filmed a lot of different components for this video now, or a lot of different segments rather, and I'm hoping I can edit it down decent enough so it's not crazy long, but still give you guys what you want to see. So if you guys have any comments along the way while you're watching this video for any changes that I could make, or any suggestions for camera mounts, more camera gear. I'm kind of a camera nut with filming equipment, but it's expensive, so I can't just run out and buy everything that I would like to have. But I am getting a nice accumulation or collection of stuff. However, I need to get some more action 4s because these are really, really nice to just set up on tripods or clip it to a tree or something and get multiple angles. And I would like to figure out how to run one on the machine. So if any of you guys do that on your SVL 97, or if you have a recommendation for camera mounts or something that I could even make to use that I don't have to worry about falling off the machine while I'm running it, so that I can give you a POV of the mulcher, let me know. Drop it down in the comments below, and like I said, I always respond, so I'll take a look and try to make the footage even better for days like this where we're actually in the field. So, all right guys, back to it again. All right guys, I'm the only one here. I just came in for lunch. got all the trails cut in. I know last time I talked to you guys, I did the perimeter trail, and then there's 2 trails that I said branch off of that to come up towards the backyard, and then another one that ends up by that excavator way down there, which is not mine. But so we back drug all those, groomed them up, got them looking real nice, and I thought that would be a good point for a break and come in. We just grab some lunch, and I'm going to get started on the complete clear area around the house here in the background. So it's all this area here, and then it wraps around to not all the way over here where we finished, but it kind of ends somewhere in about the middle of the backyard. And then I think coming up to basically the edge of the driveway here, or where the woods stops. And then with the POV camera here, you probably can't see because it's such a wide angle, but there's an orange flag way over there, probably 50-60 yards from where I'm standing, and that is the start. And then that's the perimeter. We take everything from that flag this direction right up to the LP tank there, or basically the timber line where it meets the lawn. So that's next. That I'm going to get some, like I said, time-lapse footage. I've told you guys that 52 times I think already today, but every time I turn the camera back on, I can't always remember what I said the last time. So what I like to do at lunch is I like to come in, I'll raise the boom in the air here and check the teeth, and I like to take the grinder and put a little edge back on them. Not the carbides, obviously, but the steel teeth that I have on the outside. And then I like to take my Milwaukee blower here, a blower that's going to be your best friend in this game, and blow off the machine, get all the dust and stuff off of it. Just clean it up real nice before we go back to it after lunch. Always make sure you close your tab before you blow the dust off, unless you don't have a bunch of loose stuff in there and you don't care if you blow that out too. It's not the end of the world. probably asking why I'm back in the truck and not showing you guys an after video of the job today that you guys just watched. And that's because, man, it was a grueling, I shouldn't say grueling, it was just a long day. It's 20 to 7 right now, and I just pulled out of the driveway, and customer was home with his family. His wife was home, his kid was home, and it was just getting to be a long day for everyone. And they had some stuff they wanted to do outside too, it looked like, before the end of the evening. So I just thought it would be a better idea to get out of their hair, and I am going to go back and get some drone footage and take some better after photos. It's not that far from my house, so we're going to go back here sometime in the next couple of days and film all that. So that'll be the end of this video, but I just wanted to let you guys know that's what's going on, and then we'll close it out from there. So I apologize I didn't get any footage of loading up the machine or chaining up or anything like that, but you guys already watched that. You already watched me load the machine last night and unload it this morning, so same thing, just at the end of the day. And to be honest with you, I am pretty beat. It's similar if you've never run a machine before for that long, or if you guys have never done this, if you're not currently doing this as a business, you're thinking about it, it's similar to driving long distance. So think about, get in the car, you get on the interstate, and similar to if you're in the machine for 8 hours, it mimics an 8-hour drive. Just kind of that groggy, almost like foggy feeling that you get from driving long distance. I don't know if you guys get that feeling or not. I know other people do. I do when I drive long distance. I actually had a long trip just last week when I was filming my best drum mulchers for forestry mulching video. I had an 8-hour each direction drive, and so similar feeling. And you just get some food into your system. I could use a beer right about now, and then you come down from that a little bit. But man, at the end of the day, when you have just a straight mulching job where you've got 8-9 hours in the machine, it just can be a little bit taxing. But that's the game though. But to be fair, I'm not always doing mulching jobs either. I do land clearing as well, and I probably get a fair amount of call for both, to be honest with you. My jobs are probably 50-50. I would say close to it, maybe 60-40. In land clearing, it's a lot more, I'm running the machine too, but it's a little bit more laborious. You're in and you're out, and you're in and you're out, and you're cutting stuff, you're running saws. I'm sometimes running the mini excavator too, and then I'm back in the skid steer. And so it's just a lot more movement, which I'm a physical guy. I like to go to the gym, I like to stay in shape, and I try to get to the gym 4 or 5 days a week, and I'm always paying attention to step count, but that's just because that's the way that I thrive. And so to be honest with you, when I do get these 8-9 hour days plus where I'm just straight mulching, it tends to, I don't always like how that makes me feel, but it is what it is. It makes up for, I guess, the times when you're not doing that, and that's just the name of the game. It's just like any job. I mean, I love being in business for myself, but it's just like any job. Some days you're gonna have some weeks you're gonna have good days. Sometimes you're gonna have bad days. Sometimes you're gonna be doing jobs that you really like. Sometimes mulching jobs can be a real pain in the ass. It just depends on what you're mulching. In this case, it was a pine stand, like I told you guys, and there was a lot of oaks in there and pines alike, along with cherries, and so you're just dancing around all that stuff, trying to take out all the understory and the invasives. And jobs like that, just they can wear on you by the end of the day. So just full disclosure, if you guys are thinking about this, that's something to make note of too. If you're a person like me who likes to be physically active and has a hard time sitting for long periods of time, just something to note. It's not enough for me to not want to do this, because I love it. And I love watching the properties transform and seeing the before and seeing the after. and it's fun. But it doesn't come without its rigors either. It's, by the time I get home tonight, it'll be 7:15, 7:30, and unload the equipment and get dinner and shower. I won't be sitting down to relax until 9:30 tonight, which I know a lot of guys do that just with a normal job, but I've got scheduling I still have to do tonight when I get home too, not to mention. So instead of relaxing, I guess, to watch TV, I'm going to be pulling up my computer and scheduling appointments for leads or contacts or jobs that I need to get a hold of that I wasn't able to do today because I was running the machine. So, you know, just things to note as a business owner. Don't think you're going to start a business so you can work less. It's going to be a rude awakening. So anyways, I'm going to cut this. I'll be home in a little while here, and the next thing you guys will see is I'm going to do some drone footage and some more camera footage when we go back to the property in a couple days, hopefully, to finish up the video for you guys.